Good morning. Hello. Morning, Xenex. How are you doing today? Let's see. We are. Good morning, Esitsu. Hello. How are you doing? We are working on the what is it called? Drag and drop. Drag and drop today. I even wrote that down today, but then I constantly have to remind myself 5 minutes later. Um. Oh, okay. Zilby is super cute. He was waiting to see whether or not I was going to come back down, but of course we're coming back down. All right, so where we left off, we can't drag these, but we can drag these. Now I can drag it over here, which I don't want necessarily. So what I want to do is make it so that this doesn't show up if it's not draggable, essentially. So that's the next thing we're working on, so which is in the YCL. Now we have that pub draggable. So we have this property item. And so for the one we're working on, if we get this on drag over, I just don't want to do it. Which means I need to do this trick. We can move you in. Do I even need move if it's a Boolean like this? It will copy in, right? I probably do though. Okay. So then let's see. We get the target. So what I really want to do is check to see. So if not draggable, we're just gonna return because we don't need to be here anymore. So what is this? This is pages, course articles. Okay, so now if I grab you, now I can't drag it over here. Perfect. So now we've got that set up. The next thing is as soon as I drop it over wherever I'm going, it would be nice if I can't drop it on, if I can't drag it on myself. That would be nice too. So if I can figure out if the target is me, and so when we're adding this in, on drag start, so I don't think I need the event anymore to log out. We're adding in this data, the data transfer, and we're adding in the ID of the thing that we are transferring, the thing that we're dragging. So, and then we're getting that out on drop. So I want to grab, this transfer data and get the ID out. Exactly like we have here. And then on drag over. So here's our target. I get it into the element. So maybe before then, we get the, this is the ID, and then I can get the target ID. Getter for the ID field is okay. And then you should have one, but you might not. Okay, so if you don't have an ID, I don't really care. And then that's going to be, what do you return? Just a string, huh? Cool. So I have the target ID. So then we can check here. So if the ID is equal to target ID, we're dragging over ourselves, so we can just return. Okay, so now I should be able to start dragging this. Nothing there, nothing here. Okay, we're making progress. And then finally, I guess it's probably not finally because we still have more work to do, but maybe finally in the YCL, I want to emit out the ID of the thing that we dropped on, which means we need a property for this. So on drop, I can do this as an attribute value. I think that works. So then here's on drop. So I want to clone that out. We remove the class list, we move that. And then, so if we get to the very bottom and everything's okay, then I want to props on drop, emit out. This is going to be an attribute value from, okay, so we have the ID. Oh, it's a combination of things, isn't it? I need to know the one being moved, and I need to know the one being dropped. So this is almost as if I need a another. Oh, so this won't be an attribute value then. This is probably going to be a. Let's make a struct. So let's do this a button list move. This is going to be. I want a pub like from. And well, I guess that could be an attribute value. So from ID or like moving ID. So I know which one is moving and I know which one is changing or like going before. So like insert before. Like to. Okay, so moving to. Moving ID and then target ID. And we'll do that as an attribute value too. Scott, hello. How are you doing today? We're continuing to work on the drag and drop system, and we've already made pretty good progress here. I want to say. I can just do it in line here. Okay, so moving ID is going to be the ID. Well, it's going to be an attribute value. ID. And then we have the target ID, which is going to be an attribute value. And then you do target.id. What are you upset about? Mismatch. Oh, right. I need to tell you that it's now a BB button list move. Um, 0077cc. Hello. Good morning. Greetings from Peru. Awesome to have you here. How's Peru today? Not too bad. I've been coding a little. I won't call it programming yet because it's not actually functioning correctly yet. Okay. Well, I mean, we like programmers tend to also write code that doesn't function correctly and then it does. It's like a Bob Ross painting. It's like, okay, this doesn't look good at all. It doesn't work. Nothing's work. Oh wait, okay, it's perfect. All right, let's break it by adding a nice new feature right in the middle of everything. And then it's broken again until it's not broken again. NZX Lanky Moose, do I always code? Oh, hello, good morning. How are you doing today? Do I always code with special characters visible? So I didn't. And then I was like having I was running into like some just like weird like, okay, I kept on like mistaking like what it was, and this is like helping my brain a little bit. So it's working for me. So not always, no. I think within the last month, 2 months, is when I started doing this. And I like it so far. Happy little endless loop, pretty little critical errors. Exactly, you get it. Okay, so that should now emit out. So then what I want is on drop. So we're going to come over here and we're going to create an on drop callback and pass it in. So this should probably be, let's do the one on the, let's name it the one on the left, right? So this is the course articles. And we have the event here, which is going to be the move data, which I can't use move because that's special. I think that would drive you mad. I like the white space in your editor, but only because it isn't so visible. Yeah, if it was slightly more sort of like transparent, that would be perfect. Maybe not transparent. Maybe if I can like shift the alpha a little bit more. I don't know if I can do that with, well, okay. I probably could do it with Helix, but I probably would need to use, I probably would need to create my own theme for it. But I'm too lazy to do that, so instead I just accept it and move on. It's sort of like using Prettier with web stuff. Like, I don't like it, but it just does all the stuff that it does all the things appropriately, so I just configure it and just use it and ignore it. Okay, so course articles on Drop, articles from. Okay, so we got that stuff. Now we have the event here, but it's gonna be that BB like the move data. So we could do move data. And then here, course articles on drop. Okay, so what do I want to know? I want to know, I guess like right now we'll just debug this out, which means you need to have debug. I suppose I could try to set up one tab in Zellige that opens up both YCL and LCL and the LMS at the same time, but I am not convinced that it wouldn't freak out from two different Rust projects in the same, like two different Rust buffers in the same like window essentially. Okay, so we have used, and I want, yeah, let's just glue console log move data. And then course articles on drop. I know you don't know what that is. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. So here's the sign. This is the one we want. Okay, so now you know what that is, and then you are upset now. The trait bound JS value from. Oh, it does not have JS value from. How about if I get it from? Will you tell me moving ID and then what, target? What's the other one? Target ID. There we go. What are you upset about? Type in it. Oh, you need, okay, fine. Fine. It's a BB button list move. course, you lost that. Oh, you can't. Attribute value doesn't do that either. Well, that's too bad. We'll do an aster. That should work. Okay, so we've got you, which means that I should now be able to drag and drop you and say, okay, you're dropping there. Okay, so 9. So this is 9 and going to 8. And this is 9 going to 10. Okay. I should be able to do the opposite way too, right? Long goes to that, 10 to 9. Okay, so I think that works. So when that happens, what do we normally do? I want to, so when I click on, when I click on the right button list for all articles, I go to all articles on click. It gives me, okay, so I get the store, get a dispatch, I get a course ID. We create the callback. Okay, so we figure out what the ID is for the thing being moved. So we have that now. So okay, I need to first convert these to I64s. I think I can add this to the jump list, and I forget how to do that, right? So that opens the jump list picker. What's the one that lets me add it to the jump list? Oh, Control S, which is like save selection. So if I do something like that, so nope, that opens up. I need to lock you, and then I could do that. Okay, so I want to be able to come back here regularly. And then I also want you. So now I can do stuff like this and see. Yeah, all articles on click. Okay. So the first thing, we want to turn the ID into an I64. So, I mean, that should work. Let, this is going to be the target ID, like the moving ID. I don't want to do an as. The best way to parse. I can parse it into an I64. That gives me a result. So then I probably want to do like a if let okay. I could just do let okay. Otherwise, okay, so ID of moving, the idea of the moving or dragged element is not an I64. And then we have to return early. And then I need to do the exact same thing to the other one. This is the target ID. Oh, Xanax. So, well, you were able to write into chat, into Twitch. Um, so I'm sorry about that, but I'll keep Discord up. So in case you can't write into chat in Twitch, I'll be able to see it in Discord. But okay, so let's see. Crew console error. Stacking, hello. Good morning. How are you doing today? It's working for you, so that's good. So yeah, it must be you said you got an update on your phone? Maybe something like that. All right, so this is going to be ID of element dropped on is not an I64. And we early return. Okay, so that gets you. Okay, so we make you happy, so we have a moving ID, we have a target ID. Great. Now I want, okay, so what's the next? After that, let some article. Okay, so now I need to get, what did we do here? Let some article store articles get the ID. The article not found. So this is from all articles, right? That means we're add article to course. Okay. So I already have it in the course. So I want to do something else with this. I know when iOS 17 first came out, Twitch had a strange bug where it was hijacking swipes. Oh, interesting. I don't often watch Twitch on iOS, so I don't know. But maybe it's that something. Xanax, you're in chat. Nice, excellent. Sorry, buddy. You didn't follow, but what is U? U is a front-end framework written in Rust. So it allows us to write Rust, and then it compiles to WebAssembly and allows us to run essentially Rust in the browser. So this web application is all written in U. So in Rust, compiled with using the front-end framework U. It's very similar to React. So if you're familiar with React, you're pretty much familiar with U. If you're familiar with Rust and React, then you're ready to go pretty much. And it's surprisingly easy to get started with. maybe not surprising because it's based upon the same pattern. So you're just ready to go with it. It's a great way to sort of like get into front end engineering with Rust. And from there, you can either stay with you or you could jump into some of the other ones. Okay, so you get the article. Okay, so what I need to do next, okay, since I'm not adding the article to the course at this point, you're much way comfortable with React. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So if you ever decide to learn Rust and work with that, then you'll be pretty much set for something like Vue. There's other front-end frameworks too. They don't follow exactly the same patterns and might be a little bit more difficult to get into. I haven't tried them yet though. I think the next thing we need to do is go into the main store and add a move. So in here we have a ton of these methods. So here's the main store. So what I want to do is Xanax gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you, Xanax. And also thank you LOL, LOL, Iris, Archification, www, and the Captain Coder, and 401 Unauthorized for being here. So thank you again, Xanax, for the 5 gifted subs. How about neither you nor React? Stick to backend web dev. That is where the fun is. Well, I mean, it's coming back, right? Like it is coming back where now as a backend dev, you need to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript so that you can send snippets of things to the front end. Because why not, right? That seems that it's the old days is coming back to new again. So if you never learned web dev comes to you. I think that's how it works, right? People don't speak backend, so they need something to interact with it. That's also true. Like you can't hand somebody a backend, you hand them an interface, and the interface itself is a front end. So if you only have a backend, I'm sorry, you have a front end. You just didn't explicitly create a front end, so now your backend is the front end. Oh, so I think I'm adding it to the courses. So, okay, so this is the list of all articles, and then we have the list of courses, and inside of courses, so if we go into like our models, we have articles. Oh, and then we set that into the dirty. Okay, and then we have a vec of articles. Okay, so this'll work. Oh, and then here, can I have a function from this? Maybe. Oh, but like is article actually just a vec of these? Okay, so article is just a vec of article. So I would need to add it in here. So I have impl. So I could do impl course. So we can have a pub function like it's not swap. It's not swap. It's like move article. Move article before. We'll have a mutable reference to self. we'll have the article to be moving. So moving article ID. That's an I-64. And then we'll have the article ID. So like the target article ID, which is also an I-64. We will return. Do I even need a return value? I don't know. If you can get your mom to learn curl and JSON to buy on Amazon, more power to you. That actually reminds me, I'm a big fan of something called invisible interfaces, invisible front ends, as a way of thinking. Basically, it's this idea of like IoT, like what IoT should have been, and then it turned into just a big nightmare of like privacy stuff. But I think we're gonna get there. But the idea would be, instead of like a website or anything else, like does anybody remember when Amazon tried and then failed to really launch like the buttons, where they would like give you a button and then you like put it on top of like your thing. You're like, oh, I need more of this, and so you like you press the button and it just orders something on your account, and then they eventually got rid of all that and got Alexa, so that way you can cause everybody's Alexas to do crazy things by like just saying something out loud. That's the type of interface that like I feel is invisible, right? It's not like completely invisible. That's still like a button. The best one would be something like a plate or a weight thing or something on the box. Like you put the detergent on there. So this would be like the equivalent of like, okay, hey mom, I just got you this really cool thing. You never need to worry about buying detergent again. Just have this plate. It has, and as soon as it like gets down to a certain weight, like then it auto reorders new detergent for you. And you don't need to worry about when to order it. You don't need to worry about like remembering whether or not you pressed the button before. You don't need to worry about going online to Amazon, and then it will just auto figure that out for everything. And the only time that you'll ever get an email from it is when like maybe that detergent went out of is no longer purchasable, and it wants you to now decide, okay, now add a new one to be purchased. It could be something like that. I really like that idea because it just removes so much complexity from everything, and you've just designed away everything to be like just this simple device that you no longer you set and you forget until it breaks, which hopefully, if it's built right, shouldn't happen very often. There's a problem with my thing though, which is no companies will want to use it because my entire idea removes the entire point of a store like Amazon. I know it's the type of thing that I want, but like there's no way that Amazon would like build something like this because the entire point is they want you to go in and oh look, I want that and that and that and that, and then purchase like 10 things. But if you never go to the store, you never worry about that. So this would be like something I've actually thought about it before. Like before I started doing like Brooks builds for this thing, I had an idea of like just trying to build little like build like open source tools, and then for people who don't want to like do it themselves, you could just sell it to them. And like part of that would be keep your own data, part of that would be like things like this, where it's like, okay, let's get you away from the store, let's make it so you don't have to like even spend your willpower points to not buy everything out there. I think devs are just forgetful people in general. We always have 10 plus things going on in our head at all times. I think that this is something that everyone has. I think that we sometimes have like really complex things in our head as opposed to just like complicated things that are like well defined. And I think that's pretty rough. But like I think that I think a lot of people have like the same problem that we do. But I don't think that it hits us harder because if we don't do something about it, we can't do our jobs. Whereas usually you could do a job if you're still like forgetful or something else. It just sort of works. But anyways, that's an idea. I can't do. I'm busy. So I can't work on it right now, but maybe someday I'll have time, or maybe I'll like turn it into like a course where it's like, okay, let's build like a IoT device to like reorder all your detergent whenever you run out. So like, you know, far future ideas, but if somebody wants to build it instead, I will be more than happy to get one. Okay, so what do I need to do? I have the moving article ID. Okay, so I need to find both of these and then I can swap them. So I need, no, I don't need to swap them. I need to find and remove the moving article ID. And then I need to find the index of the target article ID and then insert before that. That's what I want to do. And then set dirty. Okay, so find and remove. Okay, so let's do, we have our moving article. So we're going to have a self dot. So this is part of course, right? So we have self dot articles. Now, if I find that doesn't give it to me, so I can do some like, can I do take? I think I have to do an iter. I don't want to take ownership of this, so I probably need iter mute that allows modifying the full thing. Now, if I take, it deals the first n elements or fewer. Okay, so that's not what I want. If I find, searches for an element of an iterator that satisfies a predicate. We can remove and returns the element at position index within the vector. Okay. I need the index. So I need the index of the moving article ID first. Now find returns the actual item, doesn't it? Yeah, that's not what I want either. Is there a find in a vector that just returns the... Oh wait, is there a search? Position. Searches for an element in an iterator, returns its index. Drago, raiding with a party of 3. Welcome, Drago. And how's your stream today? Today you're working on interfaces. Oh, interface because you with Java, right? How do you like them? I had to mentally switch because earlier I was thinking like interfaces as like web interfaces, like the interface that you work with, but interfaces in OOP are different. I am not so good. Oh, that's not good. What's not good about them? To do the other interface that I mentioned. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But how do you enjoy the interfaces, like the actual Java interfaces? Or I guess like OOP interfaces, because they're pretty much the same in every other OOP language that I've ever used. I mean, you could even argue, if you like squint hard, that like traits in Rust are interfaces. They kick like a spoiled child. They're sorry. I guess interfaces are pretty magical. They're complicated. They're so interfaces are one of those things where we learn them, we then are like, oh, this is interesting, I wonder when I'm going to use this, and then we don't use it very often, and then later on we learn about solid or some like other design patterns that sort of like help separate things, and then we realize like, oh, this is the power of interfaces. This is where like things actually help out and make things work really, really well. And in a way, decomplicate our code. I don't know if is that decomplicate a word? I don't think it is, but it's gonna like reduce the complexity, reduce like the connections. It's not reduce the tight complexity. Make it looser. Something like that. I don't know. It's morning for me. It's English. English is optional now for my brain. I don't know. Anyways, well, I'm glad you're working on interfaces. Those are always fun, and there's some really cool stuff that you can do with them. Plus, also they're super transferable. So what we're working on here is is front end dev. So working on web stuff. Now we're working in Rust. So we're building a web application in Rust. This is one that I previously worked on, and I'm adding drag and drop capabilities to. So currently the algorithm is I have the ID of the thing that I'm dragging, and I have the ID of the thing that I'm dropping on, and I want to grab out, extract the thing that I'm dragging, and then sort of reinsert it into the vector or array or list or whatever before the one I dropped on top of. And so I have the thing that I'm dragging and the thing that I am dropping on here, and I have my vector of articles. So this is going to be the list of all the articles together. So first of all, I have to find the index of the one that I'm moving. So okay, that's fine. So if I don't find it, then I want to just do an early return, right? Because this didn't work. Perhaps I should I wonder if I should. What are you? Are you returning a? You're returning an option. I could return an option, but I don't know what I would return because I just want to say like, hey, it's done. So I think I could just log out. Actually, I don't. Maybe I just return. Like, hey, if we didn't find the article, so we don't find the index, we're just done. There's nothing for us to do here. So I found the moving article index. I also need to know the index of this one. So I need to do the exact same thing over again. So this is going to be the target article index. And Quet and Quetil, hello, good morning. I'm sorry if I butchered your username. Okay, did I lose everything again? I think I did. So I close you, anywhere else, and return. Okay. Do I need to? I think I need a semicolon nose. Okay, so we're happy now. It's our Italian invasion to the channel. You wonder if the lovely cat is alive? He is definitely alive. Hi. He's a tired boy. And he's cold. I have a heater on this side over here. And he doesn't remember that it exists until the afternoon. Then he'll come over here and he'll lie down next to it. And so maybe during the afternoon stream, I put the camera down and like as he lies next to it. Which ironically I turn off at 1 o'clock and the stream is after that, but he remembers that it was on. It's I think he doesn't think that it's on in the morning when it clearly is because I have it on right now. But okay, so I have all of you. So we have the two indexes. So now I want to extract out. So I want to remove. So this is going to be the moving article. We're going to remove from the index. This is going to be the moving article index. And this gives me the article. Albert Larson, hello. How are you doing today? Drago, you're going for a walk and you'll stream again this evening. Nice. Well, have a great walk. Thank you again for the raid and have a great rest of your, what is it today? Wednesday? Have a great rest of your Wednesday. So let's see. We have the moving. Okay, so I have the moving article. Now I want to insert it before the other one. So then I want self.articles. Now we can do insert an element at position index within the vector, shifting all elements after it to the right. Okay, so then insert into, so the index, so that's going to be the target article index. And then the element, which is going to be the moving article. And I think that's it. I don't have to do anything else with you. And then finally, don't want to forget, I want to mark self.articles dirty. equals true. Okay. So now I should be able to call, okay, move article before. So this is on the store. So I want to probably do something on the store next. And then that calls into this, and then I call into the other thing. So that way the component doesn't have to be aware of how it works. It's just essentially using the equivalent of like, well, it's using these interfaces, which is not the same as the other interfaces. Albert, you managed to make the %s form on printf work completely with pad and limited length. You're happy you only have to handle all the other specifiers. And you work on %c next. Oh man, it's been forever since I've used those. C is character, or is it the character code? I remember at one point in time I was like using a bunch of those different ones, and then after I stopped programming with like, after I started programming just JavaScript stuff, I just never remembered them again. Okay, so string and character. Okay, so I remember some of them, and then I think like what? I and F are integer and float. There's some other ones too, right? Like this just gives you like the char code and or like the hex of something. There's some interesting ones. I just yeah. It's not something I remember very often. Okay, so move article before, and this is off of course. So I want to go back to the main store. And so here I want to add in a function to function. We want to move course article. We'll take in a mutable self. Wait, I can't do this. If it's mutating the store like that, I probably don't want to do it as like a self like that. I probably want to do this as a like this, where we have like a dispatch. That's what I want to do. Okay. So pub function, this is going to be move course article. We'll take in the dispatch. We'll take in the moving article ID, the target article ID. And there's not really anything I can return because it can't go out of this function. Demolroy raiding with a party of 63. Welcome, 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 Demolroy. How are you doing today? And Raiders, how are you doing? You were working on OCaml? I saw that you were working with CM Griffin doing some OCaml stuff. Sort of like giving him a break from PHP, which is that's a pretty big difference there. Doing great. It is hump date. It is indeed. So let's see. I've missed some chat beforehand, and then also the Raiders. Let's go back and go through this really quickly. So, Albert, you're working on your printf things. Let's see. %x is for hex. LF, IF for double. Fun times. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I and D are ints. F is float. Is that LLI is a long int? Wait, there's a long int? Let's not forget P for pointer, or the cool new ones, like %pre64. I didn't even realize that was there. Also, hello Raimu. How are you doing today? Raimu, I'm used to you just like streaming every time that I'm streaming. Are you taking a day off today? Let's see. Liquid Phase, OCaml, my camel. I've never actually used OCaml. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Maybe someday, but I have such a big backlog of things I want to take a look into. I probably never will do it. Rondev, hello. You redeemed Take a Break and Go Find Zilby. I found him. He even knows we're talking about him. But yes, he's here. I'm gonna reject that to refund you because Zilby is right here. Let's see. Nightshade dude, hello. Metame, hello. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you've been streaming with CM Griffin once a week, building the Vexilla client OCaml with him. Nice. Let's see. A long int is an int 64 T. Is the T important? I don't know if I'm familiar with like a T like that. Like an I-64, like I know that, but interesting. Raimu coming in with the contextual emotes. I mean, contextual emotes are the best, right? The backlog is real. A backlog is always real, right? Oh, okay. T naming convention for types. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's not something like if I wanted to set. I don't think there is a T like that here in Rust where I can like say, hey, I could, be a let my thing, like my number be, I guess like be equal to, like I can't like put another T on there. That's just not going to work. But I can do that. All right, what we are working on here today is web dev. We're building a web application, or we're more specifically updating an existing web application. So previously on stream, we built an LMS, a learning management system, that's going to hold some courses that I've been building. And I wanted to add in some drag and drop capabilities. So this is what this specific page looks like right now. I wanted to have the ability where I can grab an article here and drag it over another article and then reorder it. So right now, if I wanted to reorder it, I have to sort of like, oh, okay, I want like this one at the top. Ooh, okay, well I have to remove them all and then re-add them all. That's not a really good pattern, is it? So being able to say like, no, you should be up there, you should be down here, you should be over here. That's what we're going for. This is all built in Rust. We're using the U front-end framework. U is really like based on React. So if you're familiar with Rust and you're familiar with React, you pretty much know U already. At least you know all the patterns for U. And then it's just syntax, that's always the easiest part to learn. So I've taken care of the drag and drop part. We figured out how that works. I've updated the model that we have in our store, and I've added a function to that to allow us to do the move. It's not really a swap, is it? Right, because only one is being removed and then sort of changed position. And now I'm adding into our centralized store. So think Redux if you're familiar with React. How are you doing today? All the puns are on point. I love developers that like just put pun things into everything in their code because it just works perfectly. Thanks for getting the you dad joke in, Raimu. You had one brewing. Well, I mean, I guess we just need to get, well, it's still morning time, right? So it's coffee. What are we developing for if not the puns? Exactly. Like I once chose Lua for game dev stuff back when I first started learning game dev, mostly because they had a framework called Love 2D, and the developer community for Love 2D is really, really, really big on puns. Like every single every single library that you can like pull into that framework has something to do with puns. Some of them may not even be safe for work, which if you're not developing on stream is fun. Because then I got to go to like my coworkers who had introduced me to the entire thing, and like, oh, so what are you working on? I was like, okay, well, I'm doing this thing, I'm like causing these collisions. Like, oh yeah, you found any libraries? Oh yeah, I found this, like, you know, this one. And they just sort of stare at me, go like, I'm like, yeah, I know. NSFW stream tag just for live names. I know. It's like, okay, Brooks is this is an adult only stream. Oh no, we're not doing anything other than that. It's just that we're pulling in a library that, like, you know, references some things. You can imagine what they were with a framework named Love 2D. Okay, so move course article. So I have these two things, so I want to just call in. So I want to get the course, so we're gonna do, oh, dispatch. I have the first dispatch, so we're gonna do a dispatch. Reduce mute. Which then gives me, I get the store. I need to move these. Do I even need to move them in if they're i64s? I don't think I do, right? They'll just auto move in because they're like, my brain wanted to say simple types, but that's wrong. Cause like they're just numbers. So they just go in. Where was my mature audience only warning? I'm sorry. Yeah, anything copy doesn't need to be moved. That's what I thought. I've never had a problem with it before. Like my brain always wants to just put a move in there when I have something outside that goes inside, but I don't actually need to because it's going to copy inside. Okay, so I have the store. I want to say store.courses. And then there's the, right? Oh no, I need to find the course. I need to find, I need to find the course first. Okay, so we need the course ID, which is going to be an i64. Okay, so we get that. I need the course ID. So now if I don't find the course, so there's gonna be an option coming in. So it's gonna be the course. Store dot courses dot gonna get by the ID, which is that reference to an i64. So that's gonna be the course ID. Else, if you don't find it, then there's not really much for us to do, so we're just going to early return. It might be a good idea for me to log that out. It's not really an error, it's more like a warning. So warning, could not find course with ID. course ID. Okay. So now I definitely have the course. I sure hope we don't have more than oh yeah, the int the i64 max courses. Yeah, that, you know, I do plan on being pretty prolific with my courses. So we're, you know, I may have to go like pull in like a big int library, like, you know, just in case, I can't remember. I think the reason why we went with i64s is because the database is like, hey, your IDs are i64s. I'm like, really? And they're like, yep, your i64s now. I'm like, okay, I guess if it needs to be an i64 there, I'll just stick it with it over here so I don't run into any weird like sort of like moving things. But I guess like if I need to, or if it starts using too much memory on the front end with these i64 numbers, I'll like I'll have to change them around. But okay, let's okay, so we have the course. Great. Now I want to I want to get mute. Okay, I have the course. So I want to take the course and I want to run move article before. We have the moving article ID. And then I have the target article ID. And that's it. That has done it. I'm missing a semicolon. Okay, so now I have move course article that will then run the move article before. Let's actually make those similar names. So let's move article before. Now I want to call this from the component after the thing happens. So that is in this page. I have access to the store and I have access to dispatch. So we need to go find the on drop. Here that is. We need to do the block trick. Okay, so I need the store. Do I need the store? I need the dispatch. I probably need... Do I need the store? I think I need the store. I definitely need the dispatch. Dispatch. Okay, so I need... Okay. Have that. What are you upset about? Borrow move value dispatch. Ooh, where did you... Yeah. Okay. So we got that. I need the course ID, but apparently I got that out of the props. So we can get that here too. Course ID. Okay, there we go. We're gonna have to do a move here. Okay, so we have our move in ID, we have our target ID, we want to call, and we have a course ID. So we need to call the function which move article 4, and that's from the stores. Okay, so what do you need? You're not gonna tell me? It needs the dispatch. Then the moving article ID, target article ID, and then course ID. Okay, so moving, target, course. So then moving ID, target ID, course ID. Okay, so it's just a function. It's not async or anything else like that. So you just do the thing then. Okay, good. Then, once you're done, okay, I don't need this door. Oh, but we have fun times. Expected a closure that implements the FN trait. But only FN1. So I'm moving something in which I shouldn't be moving in. So you're an I64. Dispatch is moving in because I cloned you, and you're just dispatch here. So that should be, and I put you in a block, so that should be fine. It was obviously working before move article before, so I'm calling move article before. Dispatch. Moving ideas from you. Target ID is from you, and then course ID. Semicolon? No, okay, what? Closure is FN once because it moves the variable. Dispatch. Isn't that okay? I clone dispatch, I move it in. Do I need to clone it again? Why do I need to clone it again? I mean, it fixes it. At least the guy in Discord isn't alone and constantly getting this error. Yeah, it's like, it sucks, and like I don't understand why I needed a clone here when I've cloned here and I moved it in, and this runs once because I put the on drop on the one thing. So I don't know why it yells at me like that, but it works. And I like, it should be fairly cheap to clone it because it's really the same thing underneath. So I think it's a smart pointer. So I think we're just good to go. Okay, so that moves. It's been a while since we tested this. What's the chance that this just works? Works as in, I don't think it will save, but it will. I think that we should see it change its location. Maybe. So if I take long article, well, look at that. Long article is not the front. Cool article 5. Nice. Okay. It's working. Now I don't have, like, these can't drag, and I can't drag over here. We can only drag inside of here. Okay, so let's shuffle. Let's refresh and reset. So we have cool article 5 created in Hasura, long article. So I want to take you, put you up there. We're going to hit save. They're saved. We hit refresh. So it should be long cool created. Hey, I think it's working. Long cool created. Okay. So then if I add you in, oh, I don't want it down there. I want it up here. Hit save. We got it. It is working now. I think, do I have a bunch of logs that are showing up? I need to figure out a way to get Sentry to stop spamming my logs because that sucks. Can I filter you to not have Sentry? What's the filter for like Sentry show, like just does that, right? If I want not Sentry, I don't think that will work. Let's see. So I have all these on. Let's run the entire thing again and make sure that I'm not getting any weird logs from my stuff. Okay, so I can't do that. I can add you in. We can drag you around. We can drop you. We can remove you again. We hit save. I can close you. Okay, all that works. Okay, great. So that means we can start deploying, but my alarm is also going off for time. So let's at least get YCL up and then pointing the LMS at the component library, and then we'll be good to go. So no errors, no warnings. Happy about that. Okay, so what did we do for our button list? A drag and drop working. If I remember correctly, I don't have any GitHub Actions working for this repo. I'll just create, so let's see, title for this, we are button list can now supports drag and drop. And I don't have anything for that too, so like, sure, I reviewed it, it's fine. Okay, so this is the new ref. I want to take that. Nope. Unlock Zellige. Come back to here and go to Cargo Toml and say, hey, we're no longer using local. Now we're going to go back to you and use this revision. That rebuilds it, and then everything should still work as expected. If it wasn't zoomed in like 240%, it would look a lot. It would be a lot easier to use. Okay, so that's good. And then let's no warnings, no errors there. I don't see any when compiling, so we're good to go here. All right, so we can able to drag and drop course articles to reorder them in the course. All right, we'll go ahead and push that. And this is where, this is the actual deployed project. So I have tons of tests for this, and it although I don't have the test running in CI/CD right now, we should run those. I can get those set up. We can get those running really quickly. This is Playwright. If you've never seen Playwright before, it's basically a GUI test tool for web applications. It basically controls browsers. This one can control Chrome, Firefox, and Safari browsers, regardless on whatever system you're on, which is really nice and cool. Tons of errors. So that will have to be what I'm dealing with maybe this afternoon stream to fix that out. Because we don't want to deploy it if there's tons of errors here. Although this might end up being more weird timing things. We've seen that before where like maybe things are fine. If I rerun it, it's okay. Yeah. I need to figure out what's going on with that. We had fixed it a while back. There's some, I think when it's like trying to run a bunch of them in parallel, it runs into like sort of memory problems. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But okay, all the tests are passing. That's good to see. So it means I can close you. No. You're done. Okay. GitHub run view list. Okay, you passed. Okay, good. So let's see. The next thing would be, so I pushed up PR. So what do we course articles can now be reordered. Every one of these, it takes a little bit longer to work through because it just does a little tiny bit more each one with like the closer we get to actually deploy. So while that's happening, hey Zilby, are you waking up? Let's open up. Is there anybody we can raid today? Oh wait, Raimu just went live. Raimu was hanging out with us, so we are definitely gonna raid Raimu then. So let me go ahead and start watching him here, get through any advertisements. And I know I just saw that too, so definitely Nightshade. We're gonna raid. So raid Raimu. I always double check the spelling because I once rated the wrong person and that was not fun. I was like, why isn't the raid message coming through? That's weird. That's odd. But all right. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. If you came in with one of the raids, thank you for staying. I've been doing Rust dev and building courses for Rust for a while now. We're getting really close to being able to deploy a course on SQLX and connecting to a Postgres database. And then we're just sort of like building up and doing some like nice little touches to the LMS. So I'll be back this afternoon. Here is the schedule. I've been streaming every day this week in the morning, 7 a.m. Till 8:30 Mountain Time. And then also this afternoon, I'll be back 2:30 p.m. for a 2-hour stream to continue working on this. Hopefully I'll be able to get to finish the deploy, but if I don't, I'll just do the deploy at the beginning of the stream this afternoon. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.